Welcome. This is Deborah Leanne, and it is time for a bit of authentic life. And this radio podcast is brought to you today with this topic of commitment. And I'm opening the door here to allow in some nice cool air and to let my cat come and go because he likes to talk during these podcasts almost as much as me. So I'm going to just ground. It's been a full day of full-on commitment. Some of it, I'm wondering whose commitment I was carrying, if it was really, truly mine. And I want to differentiate for you what I'm learning about authentic commitment. It started a year or two ago in a group I was in, a leadership intensive group that was designed for business entrepreneurs with a more spiritual bend on how to be successful and grow their businesses. One of the things that we did is we had quarterly commitments, and we differentiated between a goal and a commitment, as a commitment was something that once you committed to it, you were more likely to accomplish it. You were more likely to take the steps every day that were necessary to achieve this goal. And I really liked that because for some reason, and I'm sure there's a neuro-linguistic programming thing around it, I have never been, goals to me are scary. That whole that topic of creating a goal and having setting goals, and it just has never floated my boat. And I know many others that are motivated by goals, but goals tended to be something that made me a little leery. Commitment, however, I felt comfortable with. And this is coming from somebody who's a relatively fickle person. I'm a multi-passionate, evolving entrepreneur who loves to start new things. But when I make a commitment, and normally it's to others, it's to their dreams and goals, I follow through much more than to myself. And I noticed this recently. It has something to do with the way I'm designed or the way I'm wired, that I'm much more likely, if you tell me of a dream or a goal, I am all about helping you reach it. It's what excites me. It's what turns me on to support others in achieving what they want to do in the world. It's probably why I'm a good coach and a trainer and a consultant. However, when it comes to my own stuff, I tend to lose steam. I tend to lose momentum. I tend to, somehow forget that I said I wanted to do this. It's easier to just drop out of the game than to keep plugging towards something that I'm not really excited about, especially a goal that I wasn't excited about. So this switching it to calling it commitment really, really has been a game changer for me. And recently, my business coach and I were talking about why it is that I lose momentum and where that comes from. And I said, sometimes I feel like the soul of my business or my vision is bigger than me, and it scares me, and I'm not so sure I'm committed to do what's being asked of me. And there it was. It was a commitment thing. It was many of us women used to joke about, the C word coming up in relationships when we were dating, and we wanted the guy to commit to us. And normally that meant something symbolic, like being asked to be married or move in or get a key to the apartment or all of those little steps towards commitment. And I realized that I am kind of commitment phobic, and especially when it comes to reaching my dreams and desires. And it was a big deal to me. So actually, when I was married, I was extremely commitment oriented, and the family and my marriage were number one all the time. So I knew that I could do this if it was something that was bigger than me, and if I actually had some kind of a commitment ceremony. And she said, "Okay, let's do this. Are you willing to create some kind of a ceremony, invite people if you like, or do it on your own? Even go so far as to maybe have a ring." And that just really I felt it in my gut. Like, oh, that's a big commitment. That's like a marriage commitment. That's not hiding out and being willing to walk away if things get tough. This is okay, this means I'm committed. I'm really going to go forward with this dream and goal of what I say I want to do in the world, or what a part of me says anyway. And so the fascinating thing for me was I did it. Like within 24 hours, I created something. I stood in the middle of my star rug. I lit candles and put on beautiful music. And it just so happened that I had this ring that had been sitting in my jewelry box for God only knows. I don't even remember when I bought it. I think it was years ago in Mexico or something. It's a heavy silver ring. And I wasn't even all that excited about the design. I just wanted something that I knew that could do the trick and getting through this ceremony. And it's really grown on me because it's symbolic to me of the waves of life. And it's also symbolic that there's one band that goes all the way through with two on either side. And as I continue to grow in my connection spiritually and physically, and with my own passion as the fuel that drives these things forward, I'm really seeing this interconnectedness and how I cannot do it on my own. So the commitment ceremony had to do with, yes, I say yes to me and to this vision. And yes, I say yes to creating and continuing the momentum, taking a step every day towards this dream and vision and goal for myself and my business. And the other piece was saying yes to receiving support, whether from seen or unseen, human or non-human support systems. I need to be open and actively receiving. Recently, sister friend, amazing marketing coach, pointed out to the difference of how women rarely allow support. Rarely do we allow it. And allowing is just the first step. There's an active step to receiving support. And which is why I get really involved in the art of receiving. A couple times a year, I run a challenge in my Facebook group. So, because it's something that I think many of us, including me, still struggle with. The art of receiving. It's an active receiving thing. So this was a marriage of me and all of my parts, my doubt and my imagination, my confusion and my real deep wisdom. All of the pieces of me, the spiritual, the passionate heart that I have, my intellect, and my physical vibrant body that I have, all needed to be playing on the same page. And this union of these parts were part of that ceremony, this commitment ceremony. And the other thing that brought this forward for now, in this time frame, has to do with, yesterday I was listening to a spiritual teacher, and he was talking about commitment and a spiritual commitment. And he said, whether it's, people think it has to be huge and big, and you have to spend, an hour on the meditation pillow every day, or you need to make sure that you get out and run every single day for a full, so many miles or so many minutes. And actually, what if you just committed to meditating every day. And it could be for 2 minutes, could be 10 minutes. If you have time to do an hour, wow, go for it. And what if you just made the commitment to show up, even if it's just for a minute or two? And that made so much sense. My morning practice is something that I have a 1 minute version of, a 5 minute version of, a 20-minute version of, and an hour and a half version of. I mean, when I really want to get into my morning practice, including all of the journaling and the dancing and everything involved, it's a beautiful, I don't even time it. It just flows. And I love that. And there's days where I get a morning practice in of 2 minutes or 5 minutes. And then I have an opportunity, maybe at 2:30 or 4 in the afternoon, to maybe do some more. It's not part of my morning practice, but it's still part of a spiritual practice. The important thing is to make the commitment. And don't make a commitment to something that doesn't juice you up. If sitting still on a meditation pillow is not for you, maybe standing with your feet in the dirt and looking at the morning sun for a couple of minutes is. Maybe turning on some juicy, yummy music that makes your body move is what is your spiritual or morning practice. Maybe it's sitting with a cup of tea or hot water with lemon and ginger that I like to drink in the morning and just looking at the big oak tree outside. Being still, listening for inspiration. Maybe it's journaling, asking a question of yourself and your higher wisdom, and just journaling that out. Maybe it's just being still in the morning before you get up and running through what you're grateful for. Whatever it is, if it's something that you commit to and you agree to do every day, it's amazing how it feeds you. It then doesn't become a one-way thing. It's not, commitment to me is not just I'm going to put out energy, effort, activity. There's a beautiful exchange in commitment. And it's almost like what you put out comes back to you tenfold. I mean it. What you put out comes back to you in a bigger, more juicy, more beautiful and wonderful and sometimes beyond our imagination way. If we let it, if we open to receive, if we open and actively receive. And this is why the commitment thing came forward. I sat down the other day. I knew I had a presentation on Tuesday, and I kept asking the people, now, what does it want me to speak about? What does it want me to speak about? Because I normally talk about feminine empowerment, or I talk about authentic leadership, or I have my set topics that I'm used to speaking on. And this one was about growing your business. And I didn't know how to talk about this. And I had the day before made up a series of workshops that I'm going to be offering through the summer to roll out some of my work and to prepare for inviting people to join me for a retreat this fall. And I'm like, growing your business, how does all this stuff grow? And I know that the work that I do makes a difference in business. I'm getting feedback from women whose bosses are telling me, actually one of them told me today, that they're seeing a difference. They know that the work I'm doing is making a difference. Yet it's not tangible yet. I don't have enough measurements yet to say, oh, these people increased their income by, twice, or this happened, and these. Even though I can talk to people who have been promoted or who have found jobs that are more in on the path of where they want to go in the world, or I know that my work works, but I don't have the metrics to show it. So I wanted to roll out these series and play with some new concepts and just do it in a small scale, a webinar first, a half-day workshop next, a full-day workshop after that, and then combining it on a deeper level in a retreat this fall. And then I'll have some new material to roll out with my next cohort for the Leadership Academy. This felt really good to me. So I had this commitment to start by sharing some of the concepts at this women's event, Connecting and Promoting Women. And as the guest speaker, I brought up the whole concept of shine. And I have to say that it was my commitment to me and to allowing what wanted to come through me seriously, because I had this amazing download that I sat with pen and paper and just wrote out all of this stuff. I thought, seriously, this is cool. This is really cool. I love the term shine. I've always been about illuminate your strengths and brilliances. And what if I did an acronym where shine, the letters S, H, I, N, and E, all stood for another facet of the work that I do. And then I can do a video for each letter and explain each one. So I had all these great ideas. And I thought, this is what it's like. This is this commitment that I have created, that I've wanted to have momentum. And now it feels easy as it comes through, as the support, as the opportunities are aligning, as people are questioning, when's the next time you're delivering something. And then today, I actually saw a woman do a Facebook Live, and she rolled out from the notes she took in my speech yesterday. She taught her group. I thought, oh, this is awesome. So look what happens by just being committed. And then the last thing I want to close on is I have this funny story about this commitment ring. So this ring is kind of heavy, and it's on my index finger on my right hand, which has a lot to do with moving forward and directing and focus. And this, I didn't think of the symbolism of the finger myself as much as I thought of which finger does this ring fit the best. And so when I pulled it out of my jewelry box and put it on, I thought, wow, it'll be hard to forget that I've got this commitment to myself and my vision, because this thing is big, it's heavy, it's kind of clunky, it's not as fine and feminine as a lot of my other jewelry is. And so when I first went to the gym right away after having this ceremony, I took it off and put it with my sweatshirt and went and worked out. And when I went back, I was talking to somebody and I threw my sweatshirt on and I heard something clink and I didn't pay any attention. And I looked on the floor. I didn't see I picked up my keys and my phone and I left. And I got home and I realized, oh, shoot. I looked at my hand. That was my ring. So I called the gym. He looked under the shelf. He found my ring. And I wasn't going to be back for like 3 days to work out again. So I said, if you can just hold it at the front desk, I'll pick it up. And I laughed to myself. I'm in this commitment ceremony for what? 24, 36 hours, and I lose the freaking ring? Wow, my ego must be afraid of this. What's the power that my ego is afraid she is going to lose by being in this amazing commitment? This marriage and union of all of my power, right? So then another time I took it off in the shower and forgot to put it on for 2 days. So there's a part of me that isn't wanting to be so committed, yet more and more I'm seeing, and my business coach is like, don't ever take it off. What if you just kept the ring on? So that's been my thing, is I have not taken it off ever since that last time of forgetting to put it back on after the shower. So I wear it all the time. And now I'm beginning I feel it. I turn it around in my fingers when I'm thinking. I look down at it when I'm in introspection mode. I notice it as I work on the computer. And it's become a touchstone of, yes, I am in this committed relationship within me, and it's created a new level of trust within me that I am doing what I say I'm here to do. And there is no one worse to lose trust, to break your word with, than yourself. And we tend to do it all the time. And so where can you commit to one small thing every day and start building your self-trust muscle and really notice how it allows you to relax into, yes, I can trust myself to do this. It's beyond trusting yourself that you will do what you say you're going to do for another. That's important too. But I think the most important relationship, the one that we will have from birth till death, is the one with ourself. And so what about the commitment there? And really, really getting to the place of trusting and believing in ourself. And that's where I'm going to end today. I'll be writing a little bit more about the shine principle and the shine concepts when it comes to authenticity and leadership in the next few weeks. But I just wanted to let you know that if you have any questions about anything we've shared today, about incorporating more commitment with yourself into your business planning, in your health planning, in your relationship planning, start with you first. And on that note, I'll say farewell, and I'll talk to you all next week. Thank you so much for being here. Bye-bye.